Good morning, friends. I hope everyone is doing well. I request everyone to watch my videos in a sequence for better understanding. If you really like my teaching and my efforts, please press the like button, share the videos with your friends, subscribe to my channel, and also press the bell button to get the regular updates. In this video, I want to discuss about file transfer protocol, even it is called as FTP. Okay, it is also called as an FTP in shortcut. What is the purpose of file transfer protocol? The name itself is suggesting that it is used to transfer the files from client to server or server to client. Okay, now a lot of people will ask the question, if whenever we say a protocol, they will ask that in which layer it will work. It will work in the layer called application layer. So I can say that it is an application layer protocol. Now you can ask me how the data will be transferred. To explain it, I have taken a diagram and I will explain the process in detail. So I request everyone to watch the complete video for better understanding. You have a client and you have a client disk for storing the data. Similarly, you have a server and its disk. The client has a user interface, control process and data transfer process. Similarly, at the server, you have a control process and a data transfer process. Between the client and server, we will have a TCP, which is a transmission control protocol at transport layer. Am I right? TCP is what? Transmission control protocol works at the transport layer. What is the types of protocols are there in transport layer? One is TCP and another one is UDP. When it comes to the TCP, which is a reliable protocol, why we will say that it is a reliable? Because that it will establish a connection, it will use the data transfer, then connection will be terminated between the two hosts. Am I right? So that's why we will call it as a reliable. And another thing is that it is a lot of process will be there. If you don't want to establish a connection, then data transfer, then connection termination, then we will go for the UDP. But coming to the file transfer protocol, it needs the connection establishment, data transfer and connection termination. So that's why it is using the TCP at the transport layer. Now, what are the connections it will create? It will create the two connections for transferring the data. One is the control connection and another one is the data connection. Now, what is the purpose of control connection? It is used to send the control commands. What are the control commands is that, suppose if you want to access the server, first you need to enter the username and password. Am I right or wrong? So username will be provided with a command called user, and you will enter your username and password and the pass command and the password you will enter. If they are both are matching, then only you can able to access the server. So such commands and even some commands like make a directory, mkd, remove a directory, okay, and then tell me the current working directory. All these commands you can provide by using the control connection, and it will use a port number called 21. This is very important. Okay, control connection uses the port number 21 and data connection purpose is to transfer the actual data. Means your files, whatever the data is there, will be transferred using the data connection and uses a port number called 20. Okay. Now, for transferring some 10 files, I want to transfer 10 files from client to server. How many control connections I have to create? I need to create one control connection and it will be used for the entire session. Whereas, for each file, you need to create a one data connection and send the file and then terminate the connection. Are you able to understand? So each file you need to create a one data connection, whereas one control connection is sufficient for the entire session. This is very important. So that's why we will say that FTP is out of band protocol. Out of band protocol, why it is called as, let me write it. It is even called as out of band protocol. Why it is called as that? We have a separate connection for transferring the control commands and we have a separate connection for the data. Okay, so that's why we will call it as an out of band connection. Okay, and another important thing is that it is a stateful protocol. Okay, We have two types of protocols. One is stateless protocols and another one is stateful protocol. What is a stateless protocol? Whatever the information is happening, okay, will not be stored by the server. Like what is the client has done once he log in, what are the files he has accessed, what are the directories he has asked, what are the data transfer he has done. All this information, if you are storing at the server, such kind of protocols we will call it as a stateful protocols. Okay, if you are not storing such data, then we will call it as a stateless protocol. HTTP is a stateless protocol. Am I right or wrong? Okay, but FTP is a stateful protocol because your server will maintain the entire information about the user, what he is done once he logged in. Okay, this is very important. Okay, now you can ask me what kind of data we can send by using FTP. We can send three types of data. One is ASCII kind of data, and another one is EBCDIC data, okay, and another one is image file. So we can send text files and also image files also. This is what important. We can send the text and images using the file transfer protocol. Then lot of people will ask me the doubt, what kind of data structures it uses while transferring the data. It uses three data structures. One is file data structure, and another one is record, and third one is the page. Now when it comes to the file, it's transfer the data as a character of stream of characters. There is no fixed structure. It will send a data in terms of a characters. And when it comes to the record, each file will be maintained as a collection of records, and the records will be transferred. And when it comes to the page data structure, you will have, means these are not the standard, I am telling it as an example coming to the FTP protocol. So each file is maintaining as a collection of pages and will be transferred. Okay, so this is what the data structures. And even we have discussed about the what are the control commands it will send, and if any response server has to give, it will give with a command called 200. Whatever you are doing is okay. Let's take that your name, username and password is correct, then it will give it as a okay. If it is now, if you have not logged in and you want to try to access, then it will give a command called 530. Okay, 530 will be useful for you to say that the server will provide that you have not logged in. Okay, please log in. If it is giving a response as 503, then meaning is that bad sequence of commands. You have given two commands which are not in a proper sequence, then it will give a response by the server as 503. Then you can understand that it is a bad sequence of commands. So client will send some request and server will respond it. Okay. And another important thing, we have discussed about the connection establishment, data transfer, and how the connection will be terminated. It uses the two commands called abort or quit. Using these two commands, we can terminate the connection. So I hope you have understood about the file transfer protocol and how many connections are required, what are the port numbers, why it is called as an out of band protocol, why it is called as a stateful protocol, and what are the commands it will discuss. All these things we have discussed in detail. If you still have any doubts related to the concept called FTP, feel free to ask me in the comment section. I will try to clear your doubts in less than 24 hours. Thank you for watching my video. Have a nice day.